Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There is someone you haven't met yet, but somehow your heart already feels them. You don't know their name. You've never seen their face. And still, there is a quiet feeling inside you, like they are already part of your life, just not here yet. And maybe this confuses you, because nothing has happened. No message, no meeting, no moment. So why does your heart feel this way? But what if I told you? This feeling is not random. Allah has already chosen them for you, long before you ever knew they existed. And this delay you're feeling right now is not empty. It's Allah quietly preparing both of you. So when you finally meet, it doesn't feel temporary. It feels written. What Allah has written for you can never be taken away. You keep worrying, and it doesn't stop. What if you lose them before you even meet them? What if someone else comes into their life first? What if things don't happen the way you are hoping? And slowly, this fear starts to sit inside your heart. You begin to overthink everything. You begin to doubt, even before anything has happened. But this fear is coming from forgetting something very powerful, something simple, but life-changing. What Allah has written for you cannot be taken away by anyone. No person, no situation, no distance, no delay. Nothing has the power to remove what Allah has already decided is yours. Your risk is written. Your relationships are written. The person meant for you is written. And when something is written by Allah, it is not weak. It is protected. You don't need to compete for it. You don't need to chase it in fear. You don't need to hold on to the wrong people just because you're scared of being alone. Because what is truly yours does not need your anxiety to reach you. Think about this. If that person is meant for you, even if they are far away right now, even if years pass, even if your lives take completely different paths, they will still come into your life at the exact moment Allah has planned, not early, not late, exactly when it is meant to happen. So why are you carrying this heavy fear in your chest, trying to control something that was never in your control to begin with? Why are you exhausting your heart, overthinking, stressing, imagining worst-case scenarios about something Allah has already secured for you? Or this constant fear? It doesn't bring them closer. It only takes your peace away, and Allah does not want your heart to live in fear. He wants your heart to live in trust. Trust that what is yours will come. Trust that what is not meant for you will leave. Trust that nothing written for you can ever miss you. So slowly, gently, let go of this fear. You don't have to figure everything out right now. You don't have to force anything to happen. Just take a breath and remind yourself, if Allah has written them for me, then no one can take them away from me. And if they are not written for me, then no amount of holding on will make them stay. And in that realization, your heart will begin to feel something it hasn't felt in a long time. Peace. And this waiting isn't empty. It's quietly preparing you. Both right now. It feels like nothing is happening. Days are passing, weeks are passing, and your life feels the same. You wake up, you go through your routine, and deep inside, there's a quiet question that never leaves you. When will it happen for me? And slowly, this waiting starts to feel heavy. It starts to feel like emptiness, like you are stuck, while everyone else is moving forward. But what if this moment, this silence, this waiting is not empty at all? What if this is one of the most important parts of your story? Because what you call nothing happening, Allah calls preparation. Right now, Allah is working on you in ways you cannot see. He is shaping your heart, softening parts of you that need healing, removing habits that would hurt your future, teaching you patience, teaching you trust, teaching you how to rely on Him instead of people. Because the truth is, the person written for you is not meant to meet you in your unprepared state. They are meant to meet a version of you that has grown, that has learned, that has become stronger without losing softness. And while you're being prepared, they are being prepared too, somewhere, in a place you don't know. Allah is guiding them through their own journey, fixing what needs to be fixed in them, healing what they have been through, teaching them lessons that will one day allow them to love you the right way. You may feel like you are waiting alone, but you are not. There are two stories being written at the same time, two hearts being shaped, slowly, carefully, perfectly. And when the time is right, those two paths will finally meet, not by accident, but by design. So don't look at this waiting as a delay. Don't see it as something empty or meaningless, because if things happen too early, before you were ready, before they were ready, it might not last. And Allah does not want to give you something temporary. He wants to give you something that stays. So He takes His time. Even when it feels slow to you, it is perfect with Him. So instead of asking, why is nothing happening? Start asking, what is Allah preparing me for right now? Because this waiting is not wasted time. It is quiet growth. It is hidden mercy. It is Allah working behind the scenes to give you something that is worth every second you had to wait. So be patient, even when it feels hard. Trust, even when you cannot see. Because while you are waiting, something beautiful is being prepared for both of you. Some people had to leave, so the right one could arrive. There are people you didn't expect to lose, people you became attached to, people who felt close, people you thought would stay. You imagined a future with them. You made space for them in your life. And slowly, without realizing, you made space for them in your heart. And then one day, they left. Or things changed. Or something broke in a way you couldn't fix. And that moment, it didn't just hurt, it confused you. Because it felt real. It felt like it could have worked. So your heart keeps asking, if it felt so right, why did it end? But sometimes, what feels right to your heart is not what is right for your life. And Allah, in His wisdom, sees what you cannot see. He sees what that connection would become months later, years later. He sees the pain it would bring, the distance it would create between you and Him. He sees how it could slowly change you in ways you would regret. So He removes it. Not because He wants to hurt you, but because He wants to protect you. And that's the part that is hard to accept. Because when Allah removes someone from your life, He doesn't always explain it. He doesn't always give you closure the way you want. Sometimes, He just closes the door and leaves you standing there with questions, with memories, with a heart that doesn't fully understand. But what you see as loss, Allah sees as protection. Because holding on to the wrong person can quietly block the arrival of the right one. Your heart only has so much space. And if it stays filled with someone who was never meant to stay, you might not even recognize the one who is truly written for you. So Allah clears that space, even if it hurts, even if it feels like something beautiful was taken away from you. Because what He is protecting is something far greater than what you lost. And one day, when the right person finally enters your life, you will feel the difference immediately. There will be no confusion, no constant fear, no emotional instability. It will feel calm. It will feel clear. It will feel like something that doesn't need to be forced. And in that moment, you will look back at everyone who left. And instead of feeling pain, you will feel understanding. You will realize they didn't leave because you weren't enough. They left because they were never meant to stay. They were only part of your journey, not your destination. So don't chase what Allah has already removed. Don't reopen doors He has already closed, because every person who left your life was creating space. Space for something better. Space for something real. Space for the one Allah has already chosen for you. Allah places the feeling in your heart before the person appears. Have you ever felt something before anything even happened? A quiet emotion, a soft expectation, like your heart is waiting for someone you haven't met yet, and you don't understand it, because there is no name, no face, no story, just a feeling. And sometimes you try to ignore it. You tell yourself, this doesn't make sense. But it keeps coming back, that gentle pull, that silent hope, that unexplainable calm. When you think about a future you cannot see, and you start wondering, why do I feel this when there is no one in my life right now? But what if this feeling is not confusion? What if it is guidance? Because Allah does something very beautiful. Before He brings something into your life, He prepares your heart for it. He doesn't just suddenly place people into your world without meaning. He creates space inside you first. He builds a feeling, slowly, quietly, so that when that person finally appears, your heart is ready to receive them. And think about it. If that person came into your life suddenly, without any preparation, your heart might not recognize them. You might not value them. You might not even understand what they mean to you. So Allah places the feeling first. He lets your heart imagine, reflect, soften. He makes you think deeper about love, about connection, about what truly matters. And through that process, your heart begins to change. It becomes more aware, more careful, more sincere. You start wanting something real, something pure, something that brings you closer to Allah. And that is not random. That is preparation. Because the person written for you is not just someone who will enter your life. They are someone who will stay, someone who will impact your heart, your faith, your direction. And for something that important, your heart needs to be ready, so Allah prepares it. Before you even realize, that feeling you have, that quiet sense that someone is coming, that peaceful hope you cannot explain, it is not something you created. It is something Allah placed inside you, a sign that your story is already unfolding, even if you cannot see it yet. And one day, when that person finally enters your life, you will recognize the feeling instantly, not because they are perfect, but because your heart was already prepared for their arrival. It will feel familiar. It will feel calm. It will feel like something you've been waiting for, without even knowing. And in that moment, you will understand. that your heart was never empty. It was just being prepared for something real. And the delay you don't understand is perfectly timed by Allah. There are moments when the waiting starts to hurt more than you admit. You try to stay patient. You try to stay strong. But deep inside, there is a quiet question that keeps returning. Why is it taking so long? You see others moving forward, finding someone, building something, living the life you've been praying for, and you feel left behind. Not because you are ungrateful, but because your heart is tired of waiting without answers. And slowly, that patience turns into confusion. That hope turns into doubt. You begin to wonder, did Allah forget me? But listen carefully. Allah does not forget, not even for a second. The delay you are feeling is not neglect. It is precision, because Allah is not just deciding what to give you. He is deciding when to give it to you. And that when is everything. There are things you ask for today that would have hurt you if you received them too early. There are people you think you're ready for, but if they came into your life right now, it might not last, because timing doesn't just change outcomes. It changes everything. Right now, you see delay, but Allah sees details. He sees parts of your heart that still need healing, thought patterns that still need to change, weaknesses that could damage something beautiful if it came too soon. And not just you. He sees them too, where they are in life, what they still need to learn, what they still need to become. So He holds it back, not to deny you, but to protect what He is preparing for you. Because if something arrives before its time, it doesn't feel like a blessing. It feels overwhelming. It feels unstable. It feels like something that slips away. And Allah does not want to give you something temporary. He wants to give you something that stays, so He delays it until the moment it becomes right, until your heart can hold it, until their heart can honor it, until both of you are ready for something real. And one day, that delay you questioned will become the reason everything works. You will look back and realize, if it came earlier, it might have broken. If it came sooner, it might not have lasted. If it came when you wanted, it would not have come the way Allah planned. And that's when your heart will finally understand that Allah's timing is not slow, it is exact. So don't measure your life based on what you see around you. Don't rush something that Allah is still perfecting, because what is coming to you is not just meant to happen, it is meant to stay. And that kind of blessing is always worth the wait. The one written for you will pull you closer to Allah, not away sometimes. What we call love slowly pulls us away from who we are. You don't notice it in the beginning. It feels exciting. It feels intense. It feels like something you don't want to lose. But over time, you start changing, not in a good way, but in a way that feels heavy inside. You begin to compromise small things, then bigger things. You delay your salah. You ignore what your heart knows is right. You feel more attached to them than connected to Allah. And deep down, there is a quiet discomfort, a feeling that something is not right, but you ignore it because you don't want to lose them. And this is where many people get trapped. They think strong feelings mean it's right. They think attachment means it's meant to be. But not every strong feeling is a sign of something good. Because anything that pulls you away from Allah is not a blessing. no matter how beautiful it looks. Now understand this clearly. The one Allah has written for you will never distance you from Him. They will not make you question your values. They will not push you toward things that break your peace. They will not make you feel lost inside yourself. Instead, they will bring a calm you didn't know you needed. They will remind you of Allah without even trying. And their presence will make your heart softer, your intentions cleaner, your actions better. You will want to pray more, not because they asked you, but because being around them reminds you of what truly matters. This is the difference between something that is temporary and something that carries barakah. Because when Allah writes someone for you, He places goodness inside that connection, a quiet peace, a natural respect, a sense of clarity, not confusion, not emotional chaos, not constant fear of losing them. And most importantly, you won't feel like you have to choose between them and Allah, because anything that comes from Allah always leads you back to Him. So if you ever find yourself in a connection where you are slowly losing your peace, your values, your closeness to Allah, pause and ask yourself honestly, is this bringing me closer to Allah or taking me away? Because the one written for you will never require you to lose yourself to keep them. They will help you become a better version of yourself, a stronger believer, a calmer heart, a more sincere soul. And when you find that kind of connection, you won't just feel love. You will feel something deeper. You will feel peace. The kind of peace that doesn't shake easily. The kind of peace that reminds you, this was written by Allah, and anything written by Allah always brings you back to Him. Every door that closed was saving you from the wrong story. There were doors you knocked on, again and again. You waited. You hoped. You made dua with sincerity. You truly believed. This is the one. This will finally work. And for a moment, it felt like it might. Things looked right. Felt right. Everything seemed to be moving in your favor. But then, suddenly, it stopped. The door closed, without warning, without explanation, without the ending you were expecting. And that moment, it didn't just disappoint you. It shook you. Because you gave your heart to something that didn't stay. And now you're left with questions. Why would Allah let me feel all of this if it was never meant for me? Why did it come so close, just to be taken away? And the hardest part is, you didn't just lose a person. You lost the future you imagined with them. But what you don't see is what Allah saved you from. Because not every open door leads to something good. Some doors look beautiful at the beginning, but behind them is a story that would slowly break you. A story filled with confusion, imbalance, distance from Allah. A story where you lose your peace, trying to hold something that was never stable. But Allah sees the full story, from beginning to end. He sees where it leads, how it ends, what it takes from you. So He closes it, even when you're standing there, begging for it to stay open. And yes, it hurts because you only see what you're losing. But Allah sees what you're being protected from. There are conversations you never had that would have hurt you. There are moments you never lived that would have left scars on your heart. There are outcomes you never experienced that would have broken you in ways you are not meant to carry. And out of His mercy, Allah stops it early. He removes it before it grows deeper, before it becomes harder to leave. before it damages parts of you that are still pure. So that one day, when the right door opens, you are not too broken to walk through it. But in that moment of loss, your heart doesn't see protection. It only sees pain. It only sees something that didn't work. But give it time. Because one day, Allah will show you the wisdom behind that closed door. You will look back and realize, if that door stayed open, it would have taken you somewhere you were never meant to go. And suddenly, what felt like rejection will feel like mercy. So stop standing in front of doors Allah has already closed. Stop asking what if about something He already removed. Because every closed door in your life was not the end of your story. It was Allah quietly redirecting you toward the right one, a door that will not confuse you, a door that will not break you, a door that will open with ease and stay open with peace. And when that door finally opens, you will understand why all the others had to close. When they finally come, you'll understand why it took so long for so long. You've been waiting, quietly, patiently, sometimes even painfully. You watched time pass. You watched others move forward. And deep inside, you kept asking, when will it be my turn? There were nights you felt tired of hoping, moments where your heart felt heavy, almost ready to give up, because waiting without seeing anything can feel like walking in the dark. You trust, but you don't see. You believe, but you don't understand. And sometimes, that silence feels louder than anything else. But then, one day, without force, without struggle, without confusion, they will enter your life, not in a dramatic way, not in a way that leaves you anxious or unsure, but in a way that feels calm, natural, right? And in that moment, something inside you will become quiet. The overthinking will slow down. The fear will soften. The questions that once filled your mind will begin to disappear, because you won't feel like you have to chase this. You won't feel like you have to prove your worth. You won't feel like you are holding on to something fragile. It will feel stable, clear, peaceful, and that peace will feel different from anything you've experienced before. And then, slowly, you will begin to look back at everything you went through, the people who left, the doors that closed, the delays that confused you, the pain you didn't understand, and for the first time, it will all start to make sense. You will realize, if that person had stayed, you wouldn't be here. If that door had opened, you would have walked down the wrong path. If things happened when you wanted, you might have lost something far better. Every delay was aligning something. Every heartbreak was clearing something. Every moment of waiting was preparing something. And now, standing in this moment, you will finally understand. Allah was never late. He was just precise. He was arranging everything so that when this person enters your life, it doesn't break. It doesn't fade. It stays. Because what comes at the right time carries a different kind of peace. A peace that doesn't make you anxious. A peace that doesn't make you question everything. A peace that feels like your heart can finally rest. And in that moment, you won't just feel happiness. You will feel certainty. A quiet, deep certainty that this was always written for you. So don't let the waiting make you lose hope. Don't let the delay make you doubt Allah's plan, because what is coming into your life is not just something you wanted. It is something Allah carefully chose for you. And when it finally reaches you, You won't say, "It's late." You will say, "It was worth every second I had to wait, and now." Just pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and let your heart slow down. You've been carrying so much inside you. The waiting, the questions, the silent hopes you never told anyone. But maybe you were never meant to carry it alone. Maybe all this time, Allah was asking you to trust Him. Not the timing, not the situation, but Him. Because what is written for you is not lost. It is not late. It is not forgotten. It is simply on its way. Even right now, as you're listening to this, Allah is arranging things you cannot see, moving hearts, changing paths, aligning moments, just so it reaches you exactly when it should. So don't let your heart become heavy. Don't let your hope fade, because the one who placed this feeling inside you is the same one who will fulfill it in the most beautiful way. And when that moment finally comes, you won't remember how long you waited. You will only remember how perfectly everything came together. So trust Him, even when it's quiet, even when nothing makes sense, because Allah's plan is always kinder than your expectations. May Allah fill your heart with peace, replace your waiting with something beautiful, and grant you a love that brings you closer to Him, not away. Ameen.